Scene script. Have you ever wondered how our ancestors conducted transactions before the advent of the modern currency? Welcome to our exploration of currency history and the future potential of Bitcoin. Picture this, a time when shells and beads were more than just decorative items. They were a medium of exchange, a way to obtain goods and services. These were among the earliest forms of currency born out of necessity. You see, as communities grew and human needs became more complex, the simple act of bartering goods became increasingly inefficient. There was a need for a more versatile system, a system that could accurately represent value and be universally accepted. Thus, the concept of currency took its first breath. From shells and beads, we moved on to metals. Metals, particularly gold and silver, had several advantages over their predecessors. They were scarce, they were durable, and they could be molded into different shapes and sizes. The value of these metals was intrinsic, based on their rarity and the effort required to mine and refine them. This made them a more reliable store of value than shells or beads, and so they became the preferred medium of exchange. However, the use of metals as currency wasn't without its challenges. The weight of metals made large transactions inconvenient. Moreover, the value of the metal in a coin was often more than the face value of the coin itself, leading to issues of counterfeiting and clipping. To address these challenges, we moved on to paper currency, a concept that originated in ancient China. Paper currency was lighter, easier to carry, and its value was not based on the material it was made from, but on the promise of the issuing authority to redeem it for a certain value. This was a significant shift. For the first time, the value of money was not tangible but abstract, based on trust in the issuing authority. As we moved from barter to the use of precious metals and then to paper currency, the concept of value began to take more abstract forms. From shells and beads to paper money, the evolution of currency took an important turn with the introduction of the gold standard. This system, which was first adopted in the United Kingdom in the early 19th century, allowed for currency to be directly linked to gold. It created a fixed exchange rate, where each unit of currency corresponded to a specific weight of the precious metal. The gold standard brought a sense of stability. It worked as a self-regulating system where the laws of supply and demand dictated the amount of money in circulation. Gold was a limited resource, and this scarcity helped maintain its value. As a result, inflation was kept in check and economies grew. However, the gold standard also had its drawbacks. It relied heavily on the physical availability of gold, which was not always consistent. In times of economic crisis, the standard could exacerbate the situation by restricting the amount of money in circulation. As the world grappled with the Great Depression in the 1930s, countries began to abandon the gold standard. They needed the flexibility to control their money supply, something the gold standard didn't offer. This marked the beginning of the shift to fiat currency. Fiat currency, unlike gold-backed money, derives its value not from a physical commodity, but from the trust and confidence of the people who use it. It's not backed by gold or any other valuable resource. Instead, it's backed by the full faith and credit of the government that issues it. This new system allowed governments to control the supply of money more directly, adjusting it to meet economic needs. They could stimulate growth by increasing the money supply or curb inflation by reducing it. This shift from the gold standard to fiat currency marked a significant change in how we perceive and handle money. It was a move that signaled the birth of modern currency and set the stage for the many innovations in money and finance that we see today. As the world stepped into the digital age, so did our currency. Welcome to the era of digital money, a time when the physical limitations of cash and coins have been replaced with virtual wallets and online transactions. The advent of digital currency and online banking marked a significant turning point in our relationship with money. It was no longer a matter of physical exchange, but a series of numbers on a screen. Suddenly, the entire world became a bazaar, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A simple swipe or click, and the transaction is complete. No more waiting in line, no more counting change. The convenience was, and still is, undeniable. Yet, as with any innovation, there were new challenges to overcome. This digital revolution was not without its risks. Our money was now in the cloud, floating in a nebulous space of ones and zeros. The same convenience that made transactions effortless also made them susceptible to cyber threats. Hackers, identity thieves, online fraudsters, they all found a new playground in this digital age. In the blink of an eye, a lifetime savings could vanish. A single click could empty a bank account. The risks were, and still are, substantial. The digital age brought with it a new kind of vulnerability, one that required a different set of skills and defenses. Firewalls, encryption, multi-factor authentication, all became part of our financial vocabulary. As we adapted, so did our financial institutions. They conjured up stronger security measures, better firewalls, more complex encryption. But the game of cat and mouse continues, with each side trying to outsmart the other. As we embrace the convenience of digital currency, we also grapple with its inherent risks. But what if there was a secure and decentralized form of digital currency? A currency that combines the convenience of digital transactions with the security of physical cash. Could such a currency exist? Well, let's take a closer look at Bitcoin. Enter Bitcoin, the first decentralized digital currency, making waves in finance and beyond. Bitcoin, a name that resonates with innovation, disruption, and intrigue. It's a game changer, a rule breaker, and it's reshaping our understanding of currency as we know it. The inception of Bitcoin dates back to 2009, a time of financial crisis and growing skepticism towards traditional banking systems. A mysterious entity known as Satoshi Nakamoto published a white paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. This document outlined a new kind of currency, one that operated on a decentralized network of computers without the need for a central authority. This decentralization is one of Bitcoin's most defining characteristics. Unlike traditional currencies, no government or financial institution has control over Bitcoin. Instead, transactions are verified by a network of computers spread across the globe. This decentralization ensures that no single entity can manipulate the value of Bitcoin, providing a level of financial security and autonomy that is unprecedented in the history of currency. Anonymity is another key attribute of Bitcoin. Transactions can be made without revealing the identities of the individuals involved. This provides a level of privacy not found in traditional banking systems, where every transaction is linked to an individual or a corporation. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of Bitcoin is its finite supply. Nakamoto specified that there would only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. This limited supply contrasts sharply with traditional currencies, which can be printed at will by central banks. This scarcity is part of what gives Bitcoin its value and sets it apart from other forms of currency. With its unique attributes, Bitcoin has undoubtedly disrupted the financial world. But what does the future hold for Bitcoin? As we stand on the brink of a potential financial revolution, what role could Bitcoin play in the future of reserve assets? Ponder over this for a moment. Bitcoin, a digital asset, emerging as a key player in the global financial arena. For some, this is a far-fetched fantasy. For others, it's a plausible reality. Imagine a world where Bitcoin is not just a speculative asset, but a reserve currency. Similar to how central banks hold gold and foreign currencies as a store of value, they could potentially hold Bitcoin. This scenario may seem distant, but it's a possibility that's being seriously considered by some forward-thinking individuals and institutions around the globe. Bitcoin's inherent properties make it a compelling candidate for a global reserve asset. It's decentralized, meaning no single entity controls it. It's finite, with only 21 million Bitcoins to ever exist, which protects it against inflation. It's easily divisible and transportable, making it highly efficient. And most importantly, it's digital, aligning with the trajectory of our increasingly digital world. But as with any revolution, challenges are inevitable. The volatility of Bitcoin is a significant concern. Its value can swing drastically within a matter of hours, posing a risk to those who hold it. Then there's the issue of regulatory obstacles. Governments around the world are grappling with how to regulate cryptocurrencies, and their decisions could significantly impact Bitcoin's future. And what about the traditional banking systems? Well, they could be in for a shake-up. Bitcoin's rise could mean a shift in power dynamics in the world of finance. Banks may have to adapt to a world where digital currencies play a larger role or risk becoming obsolete. The potential of Bitcoin is immense, but so are the challenges. As we continue to navigate the ever-evolving world of finance, one thing is certain: the future of currency is digital.